Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to Tornado Network. Thank you so much for being here. As always, we're either bringing you exciting news, interviews, or reviews, but something you definitely can use to enhance some aspect of your life. Today, I have the honor and privilege of sitting with my sister, Miss 𝐓𝐞𝐞𝐧'𝐬. And I'm telling you, she is changing lives of kids, parents, by introducing teens to entrepreneurship, to business skills, and creating instant teen CEOs with her exciting new course that's called Biz For Teens. I'm so excited, but first let me say thank you so much, Sister 𝐓𝐿, for being here today. I'm so excited about this, and I know we could go into how we met for hours, but just through the power of social media, people, and God's way of making amazing connections between 𝐓𝐿 and I met through an old app called Periscope.
Come on now.
Those of you who are familiar with Periscope, and let me switch over so I'll be able to see comments or anybody that's popping in. But let's not delay and get into it. Welcome, 𝐓𝐿.
Thank you so much, sis, for inviting me. I've been up all night, just couldn't sleep, like a kid in the candy store. I have been so excited about this day right here. And I'm just happy to be here with you. I'm thankful that God has allowed us to reconnect. And I'm just excited. I'm so excited. I don't know what to do with myself.
I'm telling you, OBB, and y'all will have to tune in to another show to learn about the power of OBB. But
come on now.
We're going to learn who is 𝐓𝐿. Let's get into it. And because I'm so excited to talk about this. There's just so many different aspects of it. And when I came across, and I'm like, 𝐓𝐿, hold up. And you remember I called this sister and said, I'm so proud of you, honey. Before I say another word, can I just pray over you and for you right now? Because I was so excited. But who is 𝐓𝐿?
Oh, you got somebody asking who is OBB. That is so funny. Oh,
you will have to tune in to another show to find out.
That's right.
In a couple of weeks.
Well, my name is 𝐓𝐿. Hello, brothers and sisters out there in, I want to say TV land, but out in Facebook, and I see on Periscope and a couple other places.
We're on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. We're on Facebook, and we're also on Periscope.
Wow. Well, welcome to everyone. Thank you for inviting me. My name is 𝐓𝐿. I'm known in these internet streets as that perception chick. That's a name that was literally given to me back when we were on Periscope together. And I still answer to it. The whole thought behind perception chick is during this time, my mother was living with Alzheimer's. And I had nothing but time on my hands to just spend with her. I would, day in and day out. And the Lord began to deal with me with just my life and how I saw it. And, why me, Lord? And helping me to start to transition to see it as a wow me, Lord, kind of thing. My testimony goes back to just being a little girl. My father being murdered on Super Bowl Sunday in the church by the pastor, being molested at 8, being raped at 22, divorce, recently homelessness, never saw that one coming. Never saw that one coming. Just so many things that the enemy thought he was going to use to just knock me out the game. Almost worked. And so my perception is of the whole thing is, all things work together. I'm sorry, for we know. We don't doubt, we don't ponder, we don't wonder. We know all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord, who are called according to his purpose. And I sure love him, y'all. And so just look at things differently, because when you look at it differently, when you look at your life through God's eyes, what happens is it changes the whole game. You stop feeling a certain way about the things that have happened to you,
right?
And you realize it ain't about you. It's about how he carries you through so you can help and witness to someone else. It's that kind of thing. And so just helping me to see that. So anyway, Perception Chick was born, and she's dear to my heart. She's my alter ego.
And I came across the Perception Chick one morning. I opened my phone and I was like, who is this? And you were doing the word of the day. You had
Word
the
of the day.
jar
Yeah.
and you were shaking it and you were doing the word of the
I
day. And
remember
that's
the
how
word
I
of the
get.
day. I know Sister Stevie says she wants me to bring that back. Y'all don't understand. That was a faith walk. The word of the day, I did it a little different because people just, okay, this is the word, and they give you the definition. And what the Lord gave me is to take words and put them in. I had this glass bowl, and I would reach in for the word. And the purpose was, words usually have meanings, and my niece likes to say baggage. Words have baggage with
Mm-hmm.
it. So it's a matter of looking at it in a different way. So on the spot, it was like, we talking about real time. On the spot, being the Lord's mouthpiece. Lord, give me something, because I would take that word and give you the Lord's view of what the word would be, a more positive view, and try to strip the meaning that we have for the word away from it. And the exercise is to teach you to do the same thing with your life. When things happen that you would automatically deem unnecessary, unfair, unjust, hang on a minute. The Lord has allowed it. So if he's
Mm-hmm.
allowed it, then it's there's some good in it, even though your carnal eyes can't see it. So that's what that exercise was about. So the word of the day wasn't so much, open up the Webster, and getting the definition per man, training your brain to see something else, to see something else. So yeah, and it was fun. It was fun. It was unnerving sometimes, because it was scary. It's like, okay, Lord, what are you going to give me today? But yeah, I
I
miss it.
always looked forward. So excuse me, I'm not. I always look forward to that each morning, and I remember I would be, supposed to be working. I'm sorry, Lord, but when I would hear the ping go off and be like, I have to see what the word of the day is.
Right. To God be the glory.
To not leave with something in my hand for the
That's
day.
it. That's it. That's it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. That
I'm not
still
even,
applies.
hey, like I told them, they're gonna have to tune into another show for that to see, how we came to this point, where we're at now, talking about, Biz for Teens 3. And like I've been telling everybody for weeks, I'm like, you have to hear about this. You just will not believe this. Calling family members saying, look, what my niece interested in this, my nephew interested, just getting this going. So looking at this, when you think of teen entrepreneurs,
Mhm.
most people think of a lemonade stand, they're out mowing a yard, they're out, trying to do just some little side job. How did you come up with this idea or concept of Biz for Teens, creating instant CEOs?
It's a God, again, it's a God thing. I'm not that smart, y'all. It's a God thing. Um, I was in a class. I was taking a class it's been about 2 months ago now. And there was an assignment in the class just to prove that you could follow what the teacher or what the instructor was teaching us. Okay. So she said, okay, your assignment is to just make up a class. I just want to see if you can download it and work the functions of the program she was teaching. It wasn't so much about the information I put in. It was just what she could follow, that I could follow. Okay. And
Right.
so she said, just choose something that you can just teach off the top of your head. You don't have to study for it, just do it. And I'm thinking to myself, and it literally just came to mind. Okay, well, I can teach selling something. And it really wasn't a lot of thought put into it. And I'm thinking, well, what can I teach? Okay, well, I can do this. I just learned how to do this, a little while ago. So I think I can put this to practice. And it started with adults, to be honest with you. I didn't even have teens in my mind. I can teach this. I can teach it in about 4 or 5 steps. No biggie, just to prove that I could follow along. So, of course, that assignment was done. And I actually ended up teaching the class. It was a 1-day start up your own business, no money down, no money out your pocket kind of thing to adults. Cradle to grave. We started on a Sunday morning after church service. I remember we started early enough. And I'm in California, by 5 that day, everyone in the class had an up and running business and
Wow.
ready to go. In fact, by the time the sun went down, a couple of people had actually made sales. So I'm thinking, okay,
Mm.
this was cool. I mean, it was fun. It was fun. So about 2 or 3 days later, I'm thinking, okay, now what am I going to do? I know how to use the platform. I know what to do, but I need to start selling courses. And it's like, oh, okay, Lord, kids are out of school. And I thought about my background because I come from a family of entrepreneurs. That's what 𝐓𝐞𝐞𝐬𝐿 did. That's what Mama did. 𝐓𝐞𝐞𝐬's my mama's sister, who I'm named after. Her name was Darce. And my daddy, everybody, I said, okay, I can do this because everybody isn't exposed to the wonderful world of having your own. Okay.
Right.
They get the taste of it now with the because it's like you can go to work on a Monday and in hour and a half, you've gotten the pink slip. Now you're headed home. Now what you gonna do?
Right, exactly.
So I'm a firm believer in having more than one stream of income. Let's try 5, 6, 7. Let's get to 8. 8 is a nice number. Okay, so that new beginnings. Let's just do 8. That's my goal. I'm at 7 now, so I need one more. But I believe that you don't put all your eggs in one basket. I believe in the word when it says that a wise man leaves inheritance to his children and for his children's children. And let's be real, y'all. You can't do that with a regular 9 to 5. I'm sorry,
Right.
unless you're the CEO or something like that. So that brings me to my young, brilliant CEOs. It's like, let me expose young people to what I was blessed to be exposed to. And it's not as simple as, I like your pretty design. It's the course is more than that. Day one, we start with the foundations, and I break it down to a kid's level. It's not going to be the boring, but I let them know we get the foundation. We're going to lay this thing right. Let's talk about niche.
Right.
Let's talk about target audience, what that is. Let's create a short and simple business plan. It's not 23 pages long, but it's just so they can grasp the concept of you need a goal. You need to see what you're doing. You need to know what's the problem and how are you solving it. Otherwise, the
Right. Those
product
are
means
two
nothing.
important words that make my ears go, huh? Niche, target audience.
That's
Niche.
it. Yeah, and then the problem, because if you're not solving the problem, I mean, thank you for creating a beautiful fly, t-shirt. Yes, I said fly. I'm dating myself. And that's all good. But if nobody wants to buy it, I mean, like, really? So no, I want to set these babies up for success. So the class is Monday through Friday, but Sunday, we start on Sundays because I remember being a kid going to school for the first time, and half the time you're like, okay, why did my mama sign me up for this? I mean, what is this? And who is this lady? That kind of thing. So Sunday's like a meet and greet orientation kind of thing. I want them to know that I'm a real person, and we're here to have fun. Yeah, we're here to learn. We're going to get the job done. And it says till Friday, but really by Thursday's class, their store is up and running. So we spend time on Friday, really getting in the nitty gritty of the business of executing the business plan, because we talk about these things. We talk about the mailing list. We talk about who we can sell to. So I'm giving them these nuggets so that when Friday comes and we have an actual graduation, we play pomp and circumstance and the whole thing, because that's what I do.
Wow.
So I try to make it an experience. I can close my eyes, and everybody has that one teacher that maybe she was a little crazy, maybe she was a little strict, or something like that. But at 56, I remember Miss Tate. I remember her like I can close my eyes and it's like the woman's in this room. I remember her. She was an older Black lady, and she was like a grandmother kind of thing, and she didn't play. She wasn't playing with you. I remember her. Some people said she was mean. Some kids were scared of her. I loved me some Miss Marie Tate. Yes, I did. And I still remember her. I want to be that teacher that you might not like all of me. I might not be your cup of tea, but I tell you what, when you get 56, you're going to remember me. You're going to remember me. You're going to remember that crazy lady.
And like I was telling you on our phone conversation, from just the slight overview that I got that day, listening to your, when you were on the other interview, and I'm saying, I can see kids being on Goldcast years down the road, and saying, we sitting in our rocking chairs on the porch, just sitting back, and these kids are saying, you know what, Miss Darissa started me with a T-Biz when I was X amount of years old, and now I'm the CEO of my own this, and I'm like, my God, Darissa, and that's when I said, let me just the Lord was like, call and pray over her and for her right now, because
God be
she
the
is
glory.
a blessing to a much needed, for a much needed problem right now, because these
Yeah.
teens, they're just as stressed as we are.
Yes.
They need
Yes, they
to
are.
occupy their minds and to be able to get their creative outlet out there. So then that leads me into, people say, well, okay, well, Jarissa's saying she's a teacher. I see the classroom behind her, but let's just take you out of school here. What education experience, did you have that prepared you prior to this for the Biz for Teens business?
Oh my Lord. Thank you, Jesus, for the preparation for such a time as this. I taught almost 10 years, and I started off in the higher grade and higher. I always thought, okay, I'm going to teach high school, because it's really weird. Steve Harvey says success leaves clues. I like to say your purpose leaves clues.
Right.
And I think about myself as a youngster. And it seems like even to this day, every movie, every show that I really love, that really resonates with my favorites, they're classroom movies. I don't know if y'all old enough to remember Room 222 with Denise Nichols. Y'all remember? I don't know if y'all remember. That's a 70s thing. I know I'm
Anybody
telling my
remember
age.
Room 222?
Room 222 was the bomb show. White Shadow. My all-time favorite was Fame. Don't get it twisted. I'm a Fame girl. In fact, in high school, that was my theme song. Fame.
Welcome back, Carter.
Welcome back. No, I'm an honorary sweat hog. I really am. I have the badge to prove it. I have the
okay. She remembers Room Tweets. So we got
yes,
I remember it.
But welcome back, Car. My homies, when you go back to my home city and everything else today, they would say that Darissa got on my nerves with Welcome Back, Carter. I am literally an honorary sweat hog. 𝐓𝐞𝐞𝐞 was the teacher. Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, Robert Hedges, Ron Palillo, John Travolta, of course, Vernay Watson. I can run it down to you. How many episodes you want to know? How many episodes it was? How many seasons it was? Oh, I got you. I love a classroom show. They resonated with me. My mother, God bless her, Mama used to say when she was little, people say, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? And Mama would always say she wanted to be a teacher or a preacher. And I love that, because I think it's the same. And it rubbed off on me. Same thing. I always knew I was going to be on a stage with a mic in my hand. At first, I thought it was law school. That didn't work well with me, because I can't separate from the job kind of thing.
Right.
But I noticed that everything that I do, that I gravitate to, has something to do with speaking and teaching and connecting, and the classroom to me is, and I love the children. I love children and I love the elderly. And I have some folks in the middle that sometimes, but I love the babies. And I ended up teaching elementary school. And that's when I just fell in love with the classroom even more, because, having a theatrical background, and I have a very complex background, y'all. I'm all over the place, but I was born with a mic in my hand. And as you can tell, I've got the gift of gab. So I'm exactly where I need to be. But if you can put a song to those babies, the CVC words, which is consonant, vowel, consonant words, oh, you got them hooked. That's why Sesame Street worked so many years. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a perfect combination, song to learning. And so I love the classroom, and I just love the energy that young people bring, and we don't give our babies credit.
Mm-hmm.
People say, well, you want to teach them how to open a business. Yes, I want to teach them how to open a business. Why can't they learn that? When we come in on that Sunday, when we have that orientation, I have them introduce themselves as, hello, my name is CEO, blah, 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 whatever the name is. That's from the gate, because you are. Call those things as if they were, because they are. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because come Thursday, you will have your own business. They name that thing. I teach them how to look up the trademarks and the copyright. We do all of that. I mean, this ain't no kindergarten class,
Right. This ain't just for the people out there saying, well, this isn't just hop on, throw something together, and then we all. This is detailed from beginning to end, every step of the way.
Yeah. I mean, they're making their own money getting up out your pocketbook. So I'm just saying that's a benefit,
Right. Because when I saw the price, I said, they paying how much for Jordans? Wait, you gonna pay how much for Jordans?
Come on now.
But this is something to impart, forever embed into your child. But you pay how much for them Jordans? But you want. That's the problem. That's not
Yeah.
how any of this works.
But see, now that's thank you. And now that school is out, it gives them uh, a, a drive. You know what I'm saying? Okay, if they have that goal to get the newest pair of whatever, then it's like, okay, you know how let's figure out how many t-shirts you need to sell.
Right. They make their own be like, hey, let me drive you up here to the store. I'll wait right
This
here.
is it. This is it. And
With
you,
your
and
own money.
hey, you earn it. You can spend it however you want. But hopefully, somewhere in that process, while they're earning it, then this because I believe teaching is a partnership. Me and the parents. And like I said, I'm gonna do my job. Now you do your job, and we'll meet in the middle. And if we gotta, Zoom and powwow, okay, what's the next step? That's the way it's supposed to be to me. And it's like, okay, so you need Johnny to learn what? Okay, so let me see how I can fit this in my curriculum, because see, we need to partner up. So if Johnny needs the next lesson, he needs to know, okay, now he knows how to make the money. Now he needs to know how to do something called tithing. He needs to know how to save. He needs to know how to budget. He needs
Investing.
Come on, investing. He needs to know how to wrap his brain or her brain around the whole concept. Pay cash for stuff. And if you don't have enough cash for it, don't get it. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to pay right now.
And like Sister Jeanette is saying, it gives them an outlet and possibilities.
Yes. It's the gift that keeps on giving, sis. It really is.
It really is for a long time, because we're so ingrained, especially me. That's all I knew, get through school. Then you go to college, and then you trade time for money. Time for money. And sometimes by the time you get the money, you've invested 18 hours in a work day. But by the time taxes come through and you break that thing down, you're like, I literally only made $25 for the whole day.
Oh, you got that much?
Wow.
Is that how much you got?
And if you're working on commission or that old style where they would, what was it called? Where they would pay you like a certain commission, but then if you didn't make those amount in sales, that money was drawn back. So then you would look up, and some people be like, oh man, I worked 10 hours in this department store and I only made $6 for the whole day. So this, I'm telling you, this is just wonderful in so many ways. So what is unique about Biz for Teens?
Well, I think because I meet them where they are, that's my style of teaching. Even though it's Biz for Teens, my youngest students, I've had 2 8-year-olds, a 10, a 12. I think the oldest so far has been 15 going on 16.
Well, you said an 8-year-old. That's
two 8-year-olds. Yeah. Because I'm committed. I had the parent, I remember when that was my first class, and I remember the parent messaged me and said, well, I know it's for teens, but I have an 8-year-old and they're homeschooled. I've had a lot of children who have been homeschooled. You can tell when they walk in the room, they open their mouths, homeschool. You can tell. Right off the bat. And I'm like, if you know your child, I'm going to do my part, because trust me, I'm gonna meet them where they are. We have to stay after class, that's fine. The way the class is set up, I love the uniqueness, because they're getting the daily lesson. We break it in chunks. So every morning they wake up, because I'm California time. So 3:00 my time, I have pushed the lesson of the day out in their portal. So whenever they wake up in the world, because I have students in Spain, yay! And I have, and in London. And so, yes. Oh, yeah. We come on, Jesus.
Mama
we internationally know.
Yeah, baby, international. Come on
now. I woke up to that one. Then I was okay, Jesus, this is what we're doing today. Okay. So they wake up to the
technology.
Yes. Isn't that amazing? I'm telling you, it's amazing. So it's like they wake up to their lesson, and they have that lesson forever in the PDFs, the worksheets, whatever goes with that. And then at noon, my time every day, we all meet in the classroom. You see our classroom, Zoom. So that way I can answer questions. We have live demonstrations and whatever it takes for my students to get it. And this is Monday through Friday. That's how we do it. We have the orientation on Sunday, which I think is unique in the sense that, I'm just not going to just throw you to the wolves. My goal on Sunday is for us to feel like family. That's how I like to run my classroom. We're here to help each other. There's no such thing as a stupid question. People are where they are because they ask questions. It's the people that don't ask the questions, they still sitting there looking silly because they don't open their mouth. Open your mouth and say something. There's nothing that you can ask me that's beyond, you know what I'm saying? If I don't know the answer to it, give me less than 24 hours. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find somebody to find it.
Right.
And I think that's how the classroom should be. It should be comfortable where everybody knows that we're all on the same playing field here, and we all have the capability, the ability, the brilliance to do whatever our mind can conceive. You know, this I stress this is your most powerful tool. That's why the enemy tries to block it. That's why he tries to get up in that bad boy, because he knows if you ever, especially these youngins, if you ever just realize and grasp the concept of how brilliant you are, how powerful you are, limitless. I mean, just the sky is the limit. And I hope and pray that that's what comes across as what's unique about this, is because I'm willing to go whatever mile I need to go to make sure that each and every one of my babies, my students, that's the mother in me, my students, I keep saying my babies, my students get it. They get it, you know, and it's ongoing. I have conversations in their portal with my students even today, because you know, they have a question or whatever. So just because classes ends on Friday, that doesn't mean it's the end of it. You might have a question that come up in business, and like I said, if I can help, then that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna we're having a class reunion already after this third class. I'm gonna be bringing some professional PR people in to help them go another further, so that they can know
Wow.
how to. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. So I'm waiting for this class coming up on Sunday, and then we're gonna have our little class reunion before we move on to. I know there's gonna be a TBS4, so I'm
Now,
already.
see, I can't even sit here and cry. You gonna make me. I ain't in my tissue way over that fucking. Just thinking about, you know, the impact that this is that this is making. Man, so you created this awesome class, you know, this just making it easier for teens to become instant CEOs. So how does T-Biz for Teens, now mind you, like she said, did y'all catch that? This is installment number 3. She's done one
In
and
less
two,
than
this
2
is number
months.
3,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
already looking ahead to T-Biz for Teens 4. So how does this help young entrepreneurs also increase their likelihood of success, not just in business, but to also help them to look ahead and start mapping out their financial future?
Well, I believe this is what I think. I think again, we underestimate our children, and I think because, you know, even I was raised in a situation where, you know, it was like, you know, a child stays in a child's place,
Mm-hmm.
but we need to really be about helping to prepare our children mentally for the world and the things that they are going to undoubtedly be faced with. And if I could just be frank, especially our beautiful black and brown children, who um, we don't want them to get to the end of the schooling, let's just say high school, before they even go to college, if they do that, because some people do, some people don't. But preparing them for the real world. And I know I came from a generation where you were taught, you go to school,
Mm-hmm.
get that diploma, get that good job, go to college, you know, that kind of thing. And yes, that was taught, but like I said, I was fortunate enough to be in a household where entrepreneurship was just, I mean, it was like breathing. I mean, that's just what we did. We have group homes, we've had dress shops, we've had restaurants, you know, you name it, ain't too much the McAllister family didn't have. So either my aunt's house or something. And it gave me such a different look on what was possible. And so my prayer is that each child will be exposed to what the possibilities are, not only for themselves, but how it can affect and trickle their family, you know, their horizontals, I like to say, and
Mm-hmm.
also thinking about their future and realizing that there's another option, and it's an option that you have control over. You don't have to sit and wait for nobody. Like, again, whatever you can think of, let's see if this works. And some ideas might work, some might not. But just the mere possibility that I could actually do this, because I would think being a CEO kind of to a kid would be like, that's an adult thing. That's what mama does. That's what grandpa does. That's
Right.
what. they probably never think of themselves as the owner of a business. I would think the average 8-year-old, 10-year-old, that's not even on their Richter scale. You know what I'm saying? That's not what they're thinking about. So to even open their mind to that possibility and to make it real and tangible to them, you have literally switched that child's whole way of thinking, which is a domino effect, and it's affecting their life even as they're in the real time, in the moment, because their thought process has changed now.
Right.
It's
And then
totally changed now.
Them realizing, wait, I'm out here on the soccer field or I'm at school and come home and like, wait, I made how much while I was not even at home?
Cha-ching.
Wait, I was over
I
at Big Mama house, or I was over having Thanksgiving, you know, or wherever they are. And then they come home and like, how much is that? Wait, because I know the first time when I woke up and I'm like, what is all these PayPal?
Sleep coin.
I was just dabbling. And I'm like, what is all these PayPal? And my phone like cling, cling, cling. And I'm like, mercy.
That PayPal ring. Hey. Yes. What's going on? Partying my phone while I'm sleeping.
Like, where's your phone? Why is your phone? And I'm like, it's raining.
And then to be able to tie it into a work ethic, because immediately that first sale, that's a privilege. That's a privilege to be able to witness when they get their first sale, and just the look on their face. And you see that, for me as a teacher, that light bulb moment is what you're reaching for. That's what you're reaching for. And it's like, when you see that happens, oh, I got them now. I done reeled you in. I got you now.
And all of the kids that are sitting, you know, drawing, you know, and I picture, because I know me, I was always been a creative, you know, as a music major, or drawing out something, or, you know, and all the different journals and designs, or even the ones that's like, okay, well, I can't paint on my mama walls no more, or write with the crayons. So they going out trying to find a wall or somewhere just to express themselves, you know, with spray paint. Or painting up something, can now take that and be like, wait, now I can monetize this and put it into a business.
And teaching them, you know, this the tricks of the trade, you know, things we know, because we OGs, we know how to do that. Baby, I find myself sounding like my aunt. Like I said, she was the head honcho when it comes to business in the family. And I remember as a kid, you know, she always dragging me to some state licensing meet. And it's like, I don't want to go. You know, you're sitting there and all these people, and you're the only kid sitting there. And I look back on that and I said, Lord, thank you. I just thank you. I thank you for that. I didn't appreciate it then. You know, she was just so resourceful. Somebody wanted to, what did they call it? Sister Doris. Sister Doris, you know, I want to do, well, baby, you just need to do blah, blah, blah. She would just run it down. And I see where I'm the same way. I'm the same way. And I just thank God for that. And it's like, so I just feel it would be a shame. You know, they say that the cemetery is the richest place. I think I heard Pastor Joel Osteen say that. Why is that? Because so many people go to their grave with books and inventions, plays, songs that they never took the time to actually create. They just, because it stayed up here. So when they passed, it went to the grave with them.
You know, then that other thing, you know, and I did inspired again by the Perception Chick, by our sister Darissa. I did a teaching called The Dash. What's in between your dash?
Well, honey, come on, live your dash. That's my hashtag. Live your dash. Live your dash,
what
baby.
What are you going to do in between that dash?
That's it. Come on.
8-year-old saying, I'm going to start filling in my dash now. So
That's it.
Good. I'm, you know, not going to sit. You see so many people, you know, work till 65, 70, hands just gnarled up, body scarred up, broke down, and they're sitting, you can't even go out and enjoy what they worked so hard to build.
That's it.
You know, as my grandma used to say, you know, robbing Peter to try and pay Paul.
Pay Paul, honey, and all his brothers.
And like, man, where did my paycheck go?
Yeah. And that's another lesson they learn real easy. You know, taxes and you know, and how to multiply, you know, and think about, okay, this, when you go on a job, you see that that Uncle Sam gonna take his. Yeah, that uncle you didn't even know you had. You
Mhm.
didn't know. You didn't know about him. You didn't know, but they learn real quick. But something about being an entrepreneur, yeah, you still pay taxes, but you have a better control over how much you bringing in. And it's a life lesson and a direct correlation of how much work you're gonna put into it. That's why we talk about that marketing. We talk about that marketing. It's like, well, did you market? Were you trying to stay in the forefront of everybody's mind when it comes to whatever that product? Are you the one that when they think about t-shirts? Are you the one? Because that's what you got to do.
Right.
I give them sample letters. This is who you send this to, and you send this one in a group because you want bulk. So we talk about these things, and just knowing that they are the captain. I can't remember who said that. I just saw a tape the other day, and it was an old one of Oprah saying that you are the captain of your ship, the master of your fate, the captain of your ship, or something like that. But I just thought that was just kind of cool in the sense, though, even though we know who the real master is. But I'm just saying,
Right. Because somebody will definitely let you
I'm
get
just
in there
saying,
and do the rowing for them while
right?
they're sitting on their yacht, and you sitting there in that little dinghy just rowing and rowing while they on their yacht
For
going on about
pennies,
their business,
for
right?
pennies. Yeah. And then if they decide to kick you off the boat, what you gonna do?
Like, what now?
I'm just saying.
She said in the movie, what else gonna do?
Right. What the problem is.
So it sounds like, really with this Biz For Teens takes the CEOs to get them from point A to I had point A to point B, but you're literally going from that Sunday, from that meet and greet to A to Z, and they're out the door and running. But you just don't say, okay, bye, Darissa's done.
I'm always here.
You are always still there for them to keep them moving forward.
And checking on them. And when I say success stories, every single one, everybody walks out of there with their own business. There was in fact, one of my 8-year-olds. So there's a lot of success stories. So I don't want to slight everybody, because now there's too many. I know I can't talk them all, but there's 2 that stand out, 3 that stand out. One who shall remain nameless. He knows who he is. That baby, when he came to class that Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. This is the first class, 8 years old. And he shared his first design with the class. I literally felt my lip drop because, and I remember my response was, I could just close my eyes and mentally walk into Target. It just, how some brands, it looks like the store. You know what I'm saying? It looked so much like I could see it in a Target commercial. I could just see the look red with the bullseye dog. I could just see a little boy with that T-shirt on. It was just so perfectly made. I was like, this is crazy. It just blew my mind. Then I have another sweetheart. She just launched her a book. She has a book also. So she launched her T-shirt and her book together. It was just, it's amazing.
8 years old.
She's 10. She's 10. And then crazy. I'm gonna tell you, it's crazy. And then running circles around us OGs. Like, if I knew then what y'all know at 8 and 10, are you serious with me? But then again, I did, because I had A2.
But see, I didn't learn this
hard-headed.
You've heard that old saying, if you can't change your friends, change your friends.
Ooh.
So once I changed my friends, because I couldn't change my other friends.
Yeah.
And started being around business-minded marketing. And, people will knock like, what do you call it? Like MLM, multi-level.
Yeah, right.
That shifted my whole mindset. And say, you take this and do this. So it gave me a different perspective. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. You do this online and you do that and you do that. Wait a minute.
Yeah, what's going on here?
This opportunity that, these teens are being, not even teens, these young children are being given through this program. I didn't learn this until, I moved here in 2014, about 2010, 2011.
Wow.
And it was a whole new ball game.
New world.
And saying an ebook, a PDF, a what?
What? Wait, broadcast, huh?
What are you talking about? A marketing list, email.
Yeah.
Wow. So this
Yeah.
is a tremendous opportunity. So, and that leads me into, summer, especially right now under this,
Mm-hmm.
Ronication 19 thing that
Right.
we're going through. The
You said
social,
the Ronication.
kids being enrolled in virtual classes, because of
Mm-hmm.
this pandemic thing, and a lot of times they're like, well, mom or dad or, auntie or whoever, I'd like to do this. And the same way, you see a kid and they're like, well, mom, I think I want to be this when I grow up. And they're like,
Right.
yeah, I ain't trying to hear that. Just a few quick reasons, to explain why they should consider enrolling their child into this to explore entrepreneurship.
Because number one, because it's the gift that keeps on giving. This, you're investing in your child. Again, a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children and his children's children. And when we speak of inheritance, we're not talking about money all the time. What are you leaving as far as legacy? What are you modeling and showing and telling and preaching to them? What are you instilling in them that will carry them through their life?
Mm-hmm.
Because what they know is what they're going to pass on. So you got to really think long term. This is a great investment because I believe, especially like you said, during these times of shutdown, lockdowns, are the kids going back to school? Are they not going to school? Whether they are, whether they aren't, this is something that I believe is not taught in school. Why would you limit your child to just the crumbs? And I'm gonna put it that way because we all know we're not all taught on the same level. Cross blink, blink, blink,
Right.
blink. And I'm just saying. And so this is a little. It should be. It should be taught anyway, but that's the reality. Is it? Is it? Why not take advantage of giving your child something that's going to help them grow? Boost their ego, show themselves a side of themselves that they didn't even know existed. It just opens the doors to so many possibilities for them to be the best that they can be. um Again, I'm a firm believer in exposing children to everything, not just some things,
Mm-hmm.
everything. Either they're too young for it or they're not, but you won't know until you don't know what your baby's I mean, you have a good idea, but I guarantee you don't know everything because our kids don't show us everything. They'll show someone else everything. You have most of the sides of your children, fit in your brain. You understand?
Right.
You know your child. But what I'm saying, but we all know when kids get outside the house, go to school, whatever, there's a side of them we don't even see. Unless you just peeping them. You sneaking and peeking, and let them know that you are interested in what they're interested in. You don't know that your child unless you've had this kind of conversation, and a lot of people just haven't. They haven't had the conversation. They probably haven't even brought it up because they didn't know that there were certain ways that they could expose their children to this. So here it is. Ta-da, here we are. Don't miss this opportunity to expose them to another way of thinking, another way of going through life. Because trust me, once they're exposed to it, they're not going to forget. And they'll take what they will and use it. They might not be the CEO when they grow up of a t-shirt company, but they might be the CEO of something else. Whatever that else is,
Mm-hmm.
give them some foundation so they can work on it. I mean, at 8 years old, I'm not going to say that they don't know what they want to be. They probably can't put it into words, but they don't know. And the only way you're going to find out is to expose them to different things. Some things are going to fall on the wayside, some things aren't, but they're going to take something from all of it. And at God's appointed time, it's going to be revealed what all that was for. Be a major part in that, parents. Be a major part in that. That's your job. That really is your job, is to guide them and help them and do what you can as the adult to expose them to everything that you can. Either it's like throwing stuff against with it, throwing the spaghetti against the wall and just see what sticks. And just see what sticks.
Right. And then too, when you look at it, right, your sister, your net grandparents
And
too.
grandparents, that's right. Yes, Lord.
The prices of college classes. I remember I was watching something from way back when, and when they said the cost of a college class, I'm like, that's a Happy Meal at McDonald's now.
Come on now.
And I know what, thankful for a band scholarship coming out of Drew high school and being able to go into a junior college at the time, because I couldn't get into what I wanted to get into. But, if it wasn't for that scholarship, I wouldn't have been able to start that education. So being able to right now with what money they would, possibly make, and being able to, instead of saying, I don't know how I'm gonna send this baby to college.
Right.
Where am I going to get the money from? I can't afford the price of the classes. I can't even consider looking at this school. But then also, there's so much now. I remember I just had a little short application. And also, in addition to the increased rates of the classes, when I said, wait a minute, you got to fill out what to get in college? It's pretty much like going through the CIA to get into a college or a university. So to be able to put on that application, wait, you had your own business at when?
Come on now. And that's the truth. That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Right. So this is something that, reaches far and wide, not just the present.
And that's a very good point that you made, because it's getting, every year that passes, it gets more competitive. More competitive, and the universities have to come up with creative ways to pull the men out from the boys, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Okay, everybody has a 4.0. Everybody's had 16, AP classes, and so now we still got 300 people. So how are we gonna find the creme de la creme? So now they have to start finding ways, and that's a perfect thing to be able to put on the application, that you owned your own business. So now you're saying you have experience in budgeting, you've had experience in planning, you know what a business plan is, you had to work that business plan. This is what's successful. Yeah. So they're trying to find out, right? It'll be very impressive. Very impressive. And we all know, the younger you are at achieving something, the more impressed people are.
Right, exactly. So not only this, as far as, the college, reach, or university, or, whatever route they decide to go with that, doing this has become such a Instagram society. You got to look this way. You got to be this way. You got to avoid not looking like the nerd. Me being bullied from middle school into about, my freshman, sophomore year, until I just got fed up and started swinging every direction, Lord.
Right. Right.
But,
I get it.
But kids fighting tooth and nail, not to be made fun of because they're the geek, because they like this art form. They're a little bit different, So, and we know with entrepreneurship, it teaches us it's okay to be different. It's okay to stand out from the crowd.
It's a good thing. Right.
Biz For Teens 3, installment 3, touch on the fact that it's okay to be different and think outside the box and express yourself.
Well, the leaders and the thinkers, the movers and the shakers are different. They're different. That's what they do, baby. If they were like everybody else, they'd be standing over in the crowd, all the sheep. You want to be the leader. You want to be the oddball. I'm just saying, not to call my savior oddball, but he was a little different. I'm just saying. The ones who stand out, they're the ones that are more than likely successful, because people are always, and I'm just talking business, people are always looking for that next thing, that next big thing. I want something different. I want something groundbreaking. And if you can be that person to think of whatever that thing is, be it a t-shirt, be it a faster and better way to cook, be it, you use your scientific, knowledge to invent something that's going to better mankind and help somebody solve their problem, because that's what successful business people do. Who cares if it looks odd? It's going to look odd all the way to the bank. I'm just again, just saying.
It's the truth, though. I was watching one of my favorite, creators, and when I first came across him, I said it's a little bit something different about him. You know how the people say touch with something. It can be either touch in a good way or touch in a bad way. And I said something different about this one.
About that one, yeah.
A little piece of his testimony in a video I was watching over the weekend. And this young man now, who I believe he's in his early 30s, but at this point making multiple, I'll say it again, multiple six figures per month, multiple six figures per month.
Wow.
Per month outlets. Shows proof, not just one of them ones that's, Instagram famous, showing this. He shows you, in the back room, as he calls it, how he's done it. But it was from this creative, from graphics. And so, and the thing about it is when he was different in school, just to have peace throughout school, he didn't skip class to go smoke, drink, party. He slipped class just to have peace of mind from being bullied and punched on, being made fun of for being different, for being made fun of for that kid when the teacher says, does anybody have a question or does anybody know the answer? Sometimes when you be picked on so bad, you really want to raise your hand, but it was a stigma for some reason.
Of being smart.
I know. And he was that kid. And when I watch him, I'm like, wow.
Just made your chest just puff out a little bit. I know. I don't even know this baby, and I'm proud.
Now, and they're called the oddball kids. Because they're just a little bit different.
Yeah, but that's all right.
This young man, and I'm like, wait a minute, did he just? And I had to rewind. I said, did he just say multiple six figures per month? Wait, let me go back.
Who baby is this?
And I won't call his name out. I will just say Create Awesome. And if you want to go find out who is the owner behind the brand, Create Awesome, you go ahead and look that up. And I'm telling you, you will just be like, wow.
Just be amazed. Wow. And we should push our children to, and again, I think it's important because as mothers and grandparents, and fathers, you can say certain things and it'll kind of go in one ear and out the other. And I think so as a community, that's why I feel privileged and blessed to be able to be a mouthpiece, because I realize that I can say the same thing that mother and father said, and it's going to fall on deaf ears when they say it. But if I say it, unfortunately, the child might listen to me. That's just the way it goes. That's in every household in America. I'm just saying that, especially if they teenagers. Like, oh gosh, she don't know what she's talking about. This is the thought bubble. The thought bubble is saying, I wish mama was hush because she don't know what she's talking about. But then let their friend who don't got no life experience say the same thing, and all of a sudden it's a brand new idea. And so I like being in the position, and I'm thankful to be in a position where I can say that or repeat maybe the same thing a grandparent or a mother is saying, and the kid's just not interested. And maybe I can present it in a certain way that will encourage them to be proud to be the oddball, to be proud to be that particular, because baby, that's what helps you stand out from the crowd, and to celebrate their uniqueness and to celebrate their ideas and to celebrate their ambitions and know that God had made each and every one of us unique. That's a beautiful thing. And it can be hard. I hear you, Sister Tora, when you talk about being bullied. You say middle school. I can go all the way back to elementary school. So I totally relate to what you're saying. I was always the tallest. I was always I say the darkest. I like to say chocolate. But at the time when I was a little girl, that wasn't with Blackie this, Blackie that. And and I just thank God for my parents who were just always celebrating us and our people. And everything from our wide noses and big lips, just everything. So I thank God I had that balance, but I realize everybody ain't got it like that. And so I'm thankful to be in a position to celebrate our youth and their uniqueness and encourage them, even if I'm just one voice in the wilderness, to encourage their uniqueness and their oddness, if that's and I choose to be positive with that word. Yes, I am odd. I'm peculiar. I'm downright strange sometimes.
I'm proud of it.
Very proud. And wait, your point is what? He only made one of me, baby. There'll never be another. You better get on board and get to know me now while I'm here. That's the best. That's the best advice I can give you. Because your loss. When I'm gone, your loss.
And with so many, the traditional is, soccer, basketball, karate after school, some other sort of general activity. Now, how can this be a business that's still run? Now, if little Johnny, little Sarah, little Tammy is at one of those sports and still be readily available for their school and extracurricular activities?
Well, the way I teach it, like I said, the format, once you purchase the class, once they're in the class, it's a lifelong thing. I mean, everything that you purchase is theirs forever, and it's also theirs when it's convenient. So say they have, so like you said, soccer practice every day. How is this going to interfere? So the way, this is the structure. 12 o'clock noon is the time that I set, because it's 3 o'clock East Coast, which is not too late. But what happens is, on that Sunday after we have that orientation at 12 noon, Monday, like I said, they'll get up and they'll wake up to a lesson. It's a video lesson. It's anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour, okay, of me giving straight instruction, just like you're looking at us broadcast now. It's me talking to you from the classroom, sharing the screen, whatever the lesson of the day is, I am teaching it. So I'll share the screen, show you exactly what I'm doing. It's like, almost like a hands-on kind of thing. I mean, in the sense that you seeing everything I'm doing step by step by step by step. And then there's a worksheet that'll go with it. And then there's a PDF that'll go with it. So everything is needed. So after looking at this, there might be some questions. That's why we meet every day at 12. Classes in session, let's talk, let's do it. Let me do another run through, because I want you to get that lesson. So what's convenient about this, and you repeat this Monday through Friday, is even if they're playing soccer or basketball or whatever they're doing after school, it won't interfere in the sense that they don't have to be in front of me at a certain time. Everything is recorded. Everything is right there. So if they have practice until, say, 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the day or something like that, they can always look at the video later on in the evening. Or as the parent, you can say, okay, I really need, you just have enough time. I don't want to stress you out. So let's do your extracurricular activities, enough to do your homework and some chores, and then time for you to eat and go to bed. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's it. So fine. They still have everything. They can do it on a Saturday. They can do it on a Saturday, because remember, I'm still here. So if they miss the live, I even record our question and answers. They'll have those. So it's like they're in a classroom. So for each day, they're really getting 2 videos.
Oh, wow.
They get the pre-recorded, then they'll also get, I tape that. And the way the class is set up, because we're dealing with minors here, I'm a mother too, so I understand. Whoever's in the class is in the class. I shut the class down when it's over. Shutting it down meaning when I offer the class next time, the new class members will not have access to number 3. Only number 3 will have access to 3. That's their questions. That was their class. That's how I run it, because I don't want number 4 interfering with number 3.
Okay.
I don't want access to this group having access to this group. They're separate. So you don't, because at first I wasn't going to tape the lives, because I have minors in here. You see what I'm saying? But I'm thinking, okay, well, they're in here every day. So let's just that's theirs. Nobody else has access to it. Nobody can get in or out. Only the people that were in the class. And that way you get to keep your question and answers. You get to keep everything and know that it's yours, and know that I'm available. So that's how it works when, if you, especially if you have a child who has a whole lot of things going on, they can still fit this in at their own pace and not feel like they're behind. And if they have a question, they can still, reach out, and we can do one-on-ones on Zoom. I can add, if it's just a question, they can reach me in the portal, just send me a message like a lot of them do. And, we're still talking and answering questions and asking for suggestions and things of that nature. And I feel like
how many slots are, so is this like unlimited, or how many do you take on at once?
Well, I personally would like to keep the class. Like if I was in a physical classroom, I keep, students here in California, it's supposed to be 20 per class. So every now and then they'll go over that. I would like to keep it around 20, 25. That's what I like to do. That's comfortable. But then we're talking about Zoom here. And we're also talking that it's, it's unlimited. I personally like the one-on-one feeling, of it being, so I can really zone in. And I like that you can only see so many faces on the screen on Zoom. So, because I like to see, like, again, when the light bulb comes on. So I need to be able to see everybody's faces. I'd like to keep the class, but it's, come one, come all. I don't, I'm not gonna turn anybody down. But I would say, I just like the feel of a regular classroom, just so I can make sure that I can serve everyone.
Effectively,
Yeah,
right. So I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
pop this over here because I know somebody's like, look, just tell me where to sign up. I don't need to. So I'm gonna put that there for those go-getters that are out there so they can go ahead and get themselves signed up for it. If
Oh
you
yeah,
directly
it's
to our site, it's iamdarissa.com, or if you want to go through my link and due to the FCC, I have to tell you, I do get a little couple of quarters if you go through my link, which is bit.ly/T3 now, if you go through that. But for those that are like, look, I don't need to hear nothing else, and go ahead and get signed up before her slots are filled. But she did say come one, come all. But I'm telling you, take action, don't delay.
Yeah, you want to take that, because the first time we ended up, that's how we got the second one, because there was a waiting list after the first one. So that's how the second class came to. That's how I'm telling you, I'm like, okay, Lord, I'm listening to you from now on.
So don't end up on the waiting list for 4 or 5 or maybe even 6, because the list just keeps growing.
Yeah, it just keeps growing. Exactly.
She has now, I would say, sign up, don't delay. A niece, nephew, cousin. Even if you see a little kid across the street and you're like, that little boy always doing something, sign the child.
Right, give him something to do. Bless his heart.
To someone, sign them up, be like, look, I have something for them to do. Especially if you have a computer in your home and you say, well, I know that I don't have a computer. Sit them down there, let them use your computer. This is about building.
This is how we do it.
Being a village to reach
out. It takes a village. That's right. That's right.
I ain't no fuss.
That's the truth, though. But that's the truth. That is really. I love that. I love that you said that, because it's the truth.
You can look and be like, man, them bad kids always run around out there. They need something to do. Well,
something to do.
Here's the chance to make a difference. Invest in that child. Talk to the parent and say, I would like to sign them up, because you never know. That may be the same child down the road when you're sitting up feeble. That comes.
My mama said, hand you a cup of water. That's it. Right. That's the one. That's the one.
If you're sitting in there with no lights on, flies around, no food, and they say, well, I remember what you did for me. Yes. Pay it forward. Pay it forward.
Yeah. Come on, preach. You better preach on that, because that show is the truth.
Right.
That show is the truth. You don't know you don't know which one of these babies is going to be the one. This be the one. I marvel in just the thought of that. It's like, I see these young babies. It's like just the potential, and we don't know who the next leader is going to be. We don't know who. We just don't know who. And to me, it's exciting just to kind of guess. And you don't know. You can't guess. You don't know. You don't know. I'm sure. I look at we all obviously know. Our President 44. His background. I'm sure his mother never thought. I mean, I know, everybody said their baby's bright. Everybody said their baby's special. But I don't think she ever thought that her child. Really? Yeah.
You just have no idea.
You have no idea. And then when you look at the so-called, the stats, he had it was stacked against him. Father wasn't there, and the troubles and different controversy that comes from being a biracial child, and being odd, being a smarty pants, just all kind of things. He didn't live in a black neighborhood. He's raised in Hawaii. I mean, who does that, right? And just all kind of things that people could have found fault with and said this and said that. And lo and behold, 2008 rolled around. Really? This what we doing today?
You never know. So I say, if you have
the
ability to invest in any child, whether it be your own, invest in them and help them out. And besides that, that's doing what God would do.
Come on.
Run around with the "What would Jesus do" bracelet. So
come on, I remember.
What would Jesus do? Invest in a child instead of just looking at them saying, they just bad, they ain't good. You ain't nothing, your mama wasn't nothing, your daddy wasn't nothing. Well, you know what? Help to make them something. Invest. Show
that's come on.
Show them that somebody cares. But that's a whole nother teaching. That's a whole.
But that's a beautiful thing. You preaching, though. You preaching. You preaching. You preaching. It's the truth. It's the truth.
You see the parent is struggling and they're like, well, I don't have the full thing. Give them a little something. Take a little bit of your oil and pour it in their mouth.
Come on now.
Help you out. That's what we're called to do. And we always think, well, I don't have a ministry. Ministries aren't necessarily from the pulpit. It's from our testimony and from the way we display ourselves. So being able to help somebody out and evangelize to them, but not just saying what the Bible says, you're showing them what it says by showing them in action and reaching out. You got a couple of kids in class, for the teachers that was like, now that child has something. That child was bright. Reach out to the parents and say, hey, did you hear about Biz For Teens 3? Hey, right. I'm just saying.
Right. Right.
And as I was putting this together, graphic design, the way we've become such a, this technology and keyboards and laptops. And I started looking at the statistics for you have people out there, graphic designers that are making more than doctors.
This is what I'm saying.
Design has advertising, animation, architecture, design, sir. And I just put the list here, gaming.
Yes.
Somebody has to make those designs that are on the front of them. What's that little crazy game everybody went crazy?
All of them. All of them.
To make those designs to put on those characters. So this is something. Yep. So when you're sitting there in it, like you've been playing that video game for 12
But I tell them, you can officially call yourself a graphic designer.
Right.
You have a t-shirt line and you design your own graphics. You are a graphic designer.
Interior design, manufacturing, marketing, media, publishing. A book is always going to need a cover.
Always.
The auntie is sitting there. I've been wanting to write this book for 12 years. Well, you know what, auntie? I can design you a cover. What you want me to send the invoice to?
Right, right. just saying, because this is business.
Don't shortchange her now. Don't go playing that. Well, you know what? That's not how any of this works, So, and graphic design has become something that's not just about making something look good. Technology is now so embedded in everything that we do on a daily basis that it requires having a graphic designer, right, to be able to help users interact with products and different things in specific ways. So by putting this skill into, these kids, you're opening so many doors.
Amen. To God be the glory. To God be the glory.
This mug here, which actually Sister Darissa, this design, somebody has to design this and put it on that mug. I'm sitting here looking at everything, and it has a design, has a logo.
Everything. Yes. Somebody sat down and designed it. Yes, Sister Yvette, she sure right about that. COVID-19 sure did. It's proving a whole lot of stuff to us. We seeing a whole lot of stuff we ain't never seen before.
Right. And now you don't even have to worry about, and I was even thinking, like, man, what about when, the cookie girls come back around, how they gonna, but with this right here, they're right in the comfort of their homes.
Their own home.
Making a call, making a video saying, check this out. You don't have to stand out there in the cold or the rain with them.
That's it. That's it.
If you wanted to, that's a whole different ball game. And I'd have to charge you for that one. But so with this, how can signing them up, for Biz For Teens 3 before they end up on the waiting list for 4, 5, 6, and 7,
right?
To learn and be able to facilitate some of these graphic design skills.
I'm sorry, one more time. Say that one more time.
By going through, once they start in it, get into it with the way technology has went now, just a little bit on how Biz For Teens just really helps to light that spark and show them, wow, graphic design is just more than just simple words on a t-shirt.
It really is. And because on the second day, we talk about concepts. And again, going back to the whole solving the problem and the product basically speaking for the customer, being the thing that makes them proud, the different emotions, the transformations. We talk about transformation because that's what the product is supposed to do. It's supposed to transform the customer. So I think in learning, again, this is not regular dinner table conversation for the average 8-year-old or 10-year-old. So being a part of that conversation and making it fun for them so they can just really grasp what it is and opening their eyes to those things, the possibilities become, I think, endless because they're seeing things in a different way. And so you mentioning being a graphic artist, that's one of the things that I think that came up in the second class, if I remember correctly. One of the students, I think who said it. I think it was the second class, that they can now officially call themselves graphic artists. I think it was my 13-year-old. It was my 13-year-old. And how her cousin has a business. He's a graphic designer. I want to say she said he lives in New York. But in her mind, basically, it was a separate world. She didn't see herself as part of that world. And so now in designing a t-shirt, she sees she's doing exactly what that cousin is doing. And so it opens up the whole notion that you start looking at things different. You know, have you ever someone shared a song with you? You never heard the song before. Once they share that song with you, it seems like every time you turn the radio on, it's like, okay, right. Really? It's like where was I? Right. The song didn't just start playing the day you learned about it, but it's just funny how all of a sudden it's everywhere you go. It's kind of like that. Once that light bulb comes on about being a graphic artist, having your own business, calling yourself a CEO, all of a sudden now everything that has to do with graphic artists or owning a business is all in your face. You never saw it before. Like the Matrix. Let's see the Matrix. If you take the blue pill, the red pill, all of a sudden you see things clearly. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, where's all this stuff been? And just to see a child experience that, see them start thinking, okay, well, what else can I do? What else can I do? And that's why on that 5th day, we talk a lot about, okay, yeah, it's a t-shirt, but you know you can do this. And you know you can approach this person. Because they got to buy it from somebody, so why not you?
That grocery store you walk in, somebody in their promotional, hello, but I'm going to reach Darissa teaches these classes.
Come on. I'm telling you, here. I think I'm thinking about the possibility, because as an adult, I know how I would do it. So I'm thinking, okay, I put this power, this empowerment in these kids' hands. Because they sharp. You just give them about 2 or 3 examples. They come back to class the next day with 12, 15, 20. It's like, I didn't think about that. I mean, they'll teach you some things, and just give them a little bit, and they run with it. So coming up with ideas on who they can sell to. You know, we talk about Vacation Bible School. It's not Vacation Bible School as usual. But right. Somebody got to buy some. This is one of the things they do. They buy t-shirts. Family reunions. They buy a t-shirt. Now they probably can't. The money they saving on air travel and all of that, and trying to plan how to do things virtually. I tell you one thing ain't gonna change. They're gonna have that t-shirt.
Exactly. I want my t-shirt.
That's it. So they have to have somebody design it, buy it. Why not you? Why not you? So, you know, being able to equip them with some knowledge and tidbits and some nuggets of the possibilities of what this one thing is teaching you. And like I said, you might not grow up to be the CEO of a t-shirt company, but you could be the CEO of a graphic design business, you know, and go back and reach, you know, and hire 5, 6 more people under you, because you just can't do it all. You know?
What's his name? He's not still sitting there doing FUBU when he started selling that on the streets and in La Brea.
Trunk of his car. Come on now.
FUBU, but he started in that design and in that area. But now look at him. What is that now, honey?
Sitting there judging everybody else's little inventions.
Right.
Where they do that at?
Like, hey, don't knock it like that.
That's right. Oh my gosh, that's so funny though.
It's just so many different, you know, possibilities, you know, with this, and we hope, you know, we've just opened the mind's door just a little bit for you to be like, you know what? I never thought about that. Wow, this is something. They could use this, you know.
Yeah.
Spread
Yeah.
the word. And like I said, even if you don't, have kids yourself, have grandkids, pass it on. Next time instead of gossiping with Miss Pearlie for 20 minutes on the phone, I know you got the 15 grandkids over there. Let me go ahead and send you this link to sign them up. I'm just saying. Next time you get together for Bible study, before you start the Bible study, all that stuff y'all talk about, say, hey, how can this help our youth ministry?
Right. And then contact me, because I am open to, if it's a church, if a church has a youth organization, especially now, you can't really do vacation Bible school the way you want it. You want to bring in a component where you teach the kids how to be their own boss, basically. We can work a package deal out or something. Just contact me. We can do that. I'll do that for my fellow believers. We can do that.
Well, I was going to ask what other services or products, as we get into our Blitz wrap-up questions. I like to do that quick 5. What other products or services do you offer?
Well, for the children, I'm working on how to write your book, and it's going to be a little spin off of that, because they are kids. I don't think they want to write a boring novel. So we got a little spin on that. That's coming down the pipe work. But right now I have classes for adults. There's also a T-Biz class for adults. It's a one day, and it's all replay. We did it in one day, so you can still purchase that. How to work Canva. I also have that one. And Canva is probably one of the most useful tools for creating pamphlets, brochures, just you name it.
Everything they see down there on the bottom that looks all like, I'm just enough dangerous just to get a done. All of this is Canva. Everything that you see and all these bells, whistles, all these different clicks. It's Canva.
Yeah, it's Canva. Canva can be used for something. So for those of you who work in the church office and pastor wants a flyer, baby, let me help you with something. You can do everything with a click. Templates. You just drop and drag. That's all you do.
I worked with Photoshop for about 12.
Yeah.
Longer than that, maybe about 14, 15 years. And there's still parts of Photoshop that I'm like, what? But you Canva and you're like, woo, hold on, wait, I'm done.
Yeah.
10
That's
minutes.
it.
Gotta be kidding.
That's it. Yeah. Have it done in 5 minutes. And you get addicted to it, because I stay on Canva. I'm just creating things. If you go to my page, everything I've ever done is pretty much on Canva.
Right. So, I got so many different T-shirts and different things. I pop it in, put it in Canva. Bam, we good to go.
That's it.
I'm telling you, hey, y'all better get on this. So definitely, contact Ms. Darissa. Her website is down there. IamDarissa.com. Reach out to her and say, hey, I'm telling you, don't delay, because she's going to be real busy here soon. Real busy. And so, it's always important. Like you say, you have those people that stand out. What 2 things or 2 people do you attribute to your current success?
Oh, only 2? Okay, I'll put mom and daddy in a package together, and then 𝐓𝐞𝐞𝐬𝐬, my aunt. My aunt. I just, and it's not even. I said I should acknowledge, but God has just been so His grace and His mercy. There are just no words. But as far as on a horizontal level, mom and daddy and 𝐓𝐞𝐞𝐬𝐬, because they modeled that thing. And even on the days that I wasn't paying attention, I was paying attention, and I'm thankful for that. Everything that I am today, everything that I am today, I attribute to those folks. Now, my grandparents also, but since you only asked for 2, I'm just gonna give you that.
They definitely gonna have to tune in for when we do it over on the other platform to hear the testimony, because I know what this sister's been through. And you know how when you hear the saying, I don't look like what I've been.
Come on, somebody. She
does not look like what she's been through. I watched it.
Where my church fan at? Where that?
So I'm telling you, and I'm not talking about years back. I'm talking about within the last 6 to 8 months. I'm talking within the last several months. She does not look like what she's been through. So it's to show you that you can always say, hey, I'm gonna get on back.
Come on.
Plan for me. I'm gonna get on back out here.
That's it. That's it. And
so they definitely have to tune in for that part, and also to find out about that old BB. My goodness.
Come on now. Yeah, brother was asking. He was like, "Oh, BB, baby."
Yeah, you're gonna I'm about to pull my t-shirt. I'm about to pull the t-shirt out for that interview.
Yeah, let me know. I'm gonna pull mine out. You could
speak to your younger self, And just
Yeah.
starting out at in that age range where you're teaching now to these young students, what advice would you give to that younger Darissa?
Celebrate you. Celebrate beautiful, magnificent you, unique, masterpiece. You. God saw fit to say, I think I'll create me and then fill in your name. There has never been one like you, and baby, you one of a kind. There'll never be another you. Ever. 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 So do you. And I mean do you. Don't be a fake copy of somebody else. Do you. This is your opportunity to shine. This ain't a dress rehearsal.
Mm-mm.
Showtime, baby. It's showtime. And yeah, you're going to make a couple of mistakes. And yeah, you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea because some people drink coffee. Just do you. Just do you. That's the advice I would give myself because that's the advice my father gave me. Yes, my father. My mother was magnificent. Don't get me wrong. But my daddy is the one that encouraged me. And when I was about 80 pounds lighter, he's the one who put me in modeling school. And I was modeling at 13 in San Francisco. In spite of what they said about me, my father did that for me. And it did something to me. I still had my insecurities, but he helped me to see you're not who they say you are.
Mm-hmm.
You're who God says you are. And he instilled that in me, but I didn't listen. I wasted so much time listening to the enemy and his lies. Don't do like Mr. Rissa did. Don't do like Mr. Rissa did. Don't waste all that time trying to fit into somebody's little old funky box.
Right? Mm.
Don't you do that. Baby, don't do that to yourself. You got one life. You got one life. You don't want to miss a second of it. You don't want to miss a second. You don't want to waste a second trying to do what somebody else wants you to do. You only answer to one person, and that's God. What does he want you to do? Who did he create you to be? And walk that thing out. In fact, sashay that thing out. That's what you do.
Walk
That's
tall.
what
How
you
they
do.
used to walk back with them bell bottoms and that afro when they put that little dip in it.
Come
They
on.
be going and you couldn't tell.
That's just do you, and it's a beautiful journey to do that. Even when you mess up a little bit, that's okay. It's okay. Get up and like Miss Story said, just dust yourself off and get back on the horse again. Come on, you got this. You got this. You
Neither
can't.
one of us was sitting here looking like what we've been through. We be looking
No,
raggedy
no,
right now.
no,
We be
no.
looking a mess.
A hot, bubbling, boiling hot mess.
We would have just had to do voiceover, not even put no pictures
Come
of
on
y'all
now.
don't understand.
Come on now.
My goodness. I'm telling you, this was such an honor, a privilege, and I celebrate myself. I just feel special to have been able to sit here today and, go through this and to be able to share, what God put on your heart, this creation, and what you're doing and how you're impacting our youth, our babies, as you call them,
Yeah,
and not just locally, but internationally.
internationally, baby.
Y'all. So the reach is near and far, and it's well worth it. Just pop over, to her page and you can see the testimonies. I even glanced at one and I'm like, hold on, is these two little girls doing a TV show?
That was
Darissa. Is this?
What this is why that and when I said there was before, that was the other one I meant to say. Okay, this baby, I woke up because this was after we had finished the class, went to bed, and I'm like, okay, I woke up and I had all these notifications. I was like, what's going on? And so I mean, it was a crazy amount. And so my baby was trying, can you go on live with us? And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. So I get up and I had just missed them. There were their friends, they're homeschooled, and they're friends, and they took the class together. Okay. So they came up with this launch idea. And when I say they put us old folks to shame, you could click here and there was an agenda. At this time, we're doing this. And then at this time, we're playing this game. And at this time, and so that's how I found it. I had just missed the live, but they were coming on again at 2:30. So they wanted me to come on. So they bring me in just like you have me here. It was all set up with the logo. And I'm thinking, oh, my
Wow.
goodness. And they interviewed me. And I'm like, this is to launch both of their t-shirt businesses. I'm like, this is crazy. This is what have we done here? It was amazing. I mean, it was so amazing. But as I said, we underestimate these babies. I mean, just did it all on their own. They sat there and the things that these young people, they come out the womb knowing how to work a cell phone. So that's why I'm saying, you put a little piece of knowledge in their head about some other stuff. Oh, they.
I'm watching my 2-year-old nephew, the phone about to die. He grabbed the charger and he like,
and I'm like, how do you even know where to put that?
And then had the nerve, if I don't answer on Messenger, not just call once. He looks for the picture, not just call once. He will blow up the phone. 2 years old. Wow. So these kids don't underestimate that they're too young. These kids know, they comprehend, and their brain, we have to keep throwing the spaghetti at the wall a couple of times.
That's it. But
young brains, when you throw it at them, they're like, I got it.
That's
and
it.
They're going to run with it.
And I think that's why this works, because I hope that what I'm putting out to them is I got you and I trust you and I know you can handle this. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. And so I got confidence in them. So hopefully that translates, where they have confidence in them, in themselves, and just approaching it from a whole different angle, Yeah, it's just, that was amazing. I even have a brother-sister team too, which has spawned. Now their whole family has a complete business. I mean, a full-fledged business. She put her that was the other 8-year-old and the 10-year-old sister. They took it together. Okay. And that's another thing too. Let me add that. If you have several children under your roof, no, you don't pay 3 times for the kids. No, you pay 1 time. That's a household. So just, I want to answer that because somebody had that question before. And it's like, no, we don't get down like that. 1 membership per kid. I mean, per household. And that, so, because I want to encourage the siblings to work together. We don't want it to be no financial strain. That's not what this is about. This is trying to encourage generational wealth. That's what we're trying to do. And we ain't gonna do it by breaking you at the beginning. Right. out the gate. You got 8 kids, okay. Let me ring that up.
Right. Sit them all down and get them there. I'm telling you, and they call it passive income. But I'm telling you, it's something about passive income.
Honey, I call it sleep coins.
More peaceful.
That's it. When you sleep. Sleep coins. When you sleep and you wake up and your PayPal been ringing because the notification's off. So you don't know till you wake up, turn the notification on. Ding, 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 ding. What? While you asleep.
Right. You trying to be in the middle of a phone call or you trying to send a text message. You like, I'm telling y'all, it's a beautiful thing.
It's honey, you better preach on it.
Experience that. And like I was watching an interview yesterday, and I believe she was 16. And her mom's on her payroll. Dad's on her payroll, uncle's on her payroll, and she is the CEO of this big conglomerate. You got wigs calling her, asking her for advice. Hey, how do I do this?
That's right.
And they asked the mom the question, and she said, I have no words. I'm speechless. I never thought I would be on my child's payroll.
Right. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful place to be.
Right.
That's a beautiful place to be.
Think about the possibilities. I'm telling you, and just as I like to just vegetate on it. Just
relax. Your baby retire you. Come on, Mom. I want you. Come on. I don't want you. Come on, sit down. How much you need? Let me double that for you.
Right. It can be done. I'm here to tell
you. Hang on, baby. Let me get my purse.
I'm here to tell you, it can be done. So, and I just want to thank you, Darissa, for being committed and constant, with each of these new classes, because sometimes we like to be a little disobedient. We don't like to listen to what the Lord's telling us to do. But you've been constant and you've been committed with each new class of Biz for Teens, and not only developing yourself, but just helping to develop and bring young people's visions to life. Hey, Mel, glad to see you.
Hey,
Mel. And down there. And so the next class, the one that's about to start, when is that starting?
It starts this Sunday. Orientation will be Sunday, 12 noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. East Coast time, 2 p.m. Texas time, and all that in between.
Wow. So for those that don't sign out, like I said, I don't know how many slots she has left open in number 3. So you may be on the waiting list.
You might want to jump on that.
Run it by them one more time. When does the class start? And what
this
time?
Sunday, 6 days. 12 noon my time. I'm in California.
And so what's the if they miss that, sometimes you sliding in the home plate trying to make that home run. What's the latest time that
the latest time? I'm gonna say midnight Saturday because I still send some things out, notification letters and things like that with the Zoom, because we meet in Zoom. And I know she thought she was in replay. That we was wondering why you said that. It's like, no. Come on, sis. Because I send out the Zoom link so we can meet, and I kind of don't want to be last minute because I want everybody to get what they need and have a chance to kind of chew on it for a minute, and we meet in time, not rushed. Sunday's supposed to be about meet and greet and setting the tone, so I don't want anybody running in after the bell kind of thing in a hurried fashion.
Right.
Saturday night would be really nice. So you won't run into any glitches, because I know sometimes Zoom can be challenging for some people. I just don't want you to be frustrated when the time comes. That defeats the whole purpose of having the meet and greet and the orientation. We just want to be relaxed and have fun and have a couple of laughs, introduce ourselves, so Monday we can start bright and early and get that ball rolling.
And I know I look forward to seeing some of the new testimonies and some of the new faces on the page once this installment of It's Done. I am truly looking forward to that. So you guys make sure, you come back, find this video and say, Tori, or Miss DeRissa, we did it. We got them signed up. I want to see it. Post it up. Let me know. If you're over on YouTube, come back to the comments and put in and say, oh my goodness, and don't thank me. Thank you, Lord. That's who the thank goes to. To God be all the glory, right?
Yes, yes.
Before we exit out, please give people your contact information across social media, your website, and how they can get a hold of you.
The website is www.iamdarissa.com, and you can get this. You can find me on Instagram, that perception chick. I'm still she. And also on Facebook, or just my name right there, DeRissa McAllister-Carnell on Facebook. So there aren't too many DeRissas out there. And then when you put that big old long last name on there, trust me, I'll be the only one to pop up. Trust. There's another. There's no other. There's no other out there.
So if you want to reach out to her, don't hesitate. You see, she's smiling, she's friendly, and she's someone that if you have to walk away from the screen in Zoom, and I even told my brother this, I said, look, if you have to walk away from that Zoom screen for just a minute, you can trust and ensure there's no foolery going on while you're gone.
That's right. That's right. Oh no, there will be none of that.
What's the teacher saying? Was that profanity? Was that right? What in the world? You don't have to worry about that, otherwise, like I said, I would put my name behind it. So parents, aunts, uncles, aunties, grandmamas, big mamas, you can trust Mr.
Amen.
And walk away from the screen if you have to, they say if you have to step away for a moment for something.
Amen.
So
Amen.
Trust that. And I
thank you for that.
Guys, for spending the time with us. Even Mel coming in confused.
Yes, honey.
Like, if you're over on Periscope, make sure you give us a good strong follow, as they say, for me and for DeRissa. We will definitely be coming back with more detailed, interviews like this, and just highlighting people that are making an impact, because that's so important. A lot of the times we sit back in the shadows, or even better, as what did DeRissa say earlier, sometimes we don't tap on it and call it out. We see our sister doing something, and our life might not be so good. So we say, I ain't gonna highlight her. That's not how any works. We encourage and we support each other around here at Tornado Network. If you're on YouTube, give us a click, give us a thumbs up, give us a subscribe. If you're liking what you're hearing, right? Mel say, I know, right? You know, we are around and encourage and bring you things that are going to enhance your life in some type of way. As I always close out, 𝐷arissa, do you have anything else that you want to say before we close out?
No, I just want to quickly say thank you for everyone who has been here with me while I've been guesting on my sister's show. I feel so blessed. I feel so blessed. It's been an honor and a privilege to sit here with you, sis. I'm just thankful that God is allowing me to be used. Just to be used. That's all. I just want to serve. That's all I want to do. I don't want much out of life. I just want to serve. And the fact that He's allowing me to do that, and you have allowed me to come and share with your audience, I appreciate you. I just want you to know I appreciate you. And I look forward to seeing these babies on Sunday.
I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm going to be scrolling through over there, stalking your Facebook page to see the updates and the reviews for when it's over and the testimonies, and seeing the parents say, wow, and even the parents being shocked and say, I didn't know my child had that.
Right.
Just don't know. So I look forward to that. And you guys, please be safe out there. Have a wonderful afternoon. And you know how I close out each and every broadcast. Until next time, walk good, do good, be good. Tornado and 𝐷arissa, we out of here. And remember, I love you. But most importantly, He loves you. God loves you too. Walk good.